everybody, it's Sherry Starr here from Sherry Starr Wellness, and I am your life, health, and happiness coach. Today is another Wellness Wednesday, and we are going to be tackling how to establish a new habit of exercising regularly, preferably daily, but at least getting joyful body movement in your life on a regular basis. Now, this is important, and if you're one of these people who I used to be, that had exercise more on the top of your New Year's resolution list, or at different times of the year you're thinking, oh my gosh, summer is coming, I need to exercise more, I need to get this on a regular basis, make this a habit, then this training is for you, because there are reasons why it's not sticking, and I want to really help you guys with this. So I've got some steps. I think it's maybe 7 or 8 steps. Maybe I'll give you some bonus steps too. So grab a pen and paper and get ready to take some notes and settle in for maybe 15 minutes with me here. And I'm going to give you my tips that I give for myself and for my clients so that you can get these results too. All right, so the reason why we're talking about this topic this week is because over in my private Facebook group, we're doing a free 5-day challenge, and it's called the Move Your Body Challenge. If you guys are interested in doing this, if you're not already signed up, it's free. All you have to do is go to sherrystarwellness.com, and on the replay I'm going to put a little link there, but you can just Google sherrystarwellness.com and click on the button on the very first page. It's really easy to sign up, and I'll get you all the goodies. So you're going to have the process when you sign up, okay? And we're on day 3 right now, but there's still time for you guys to do this, because now's a good time to get that new habit started, right? It's okay that it's already day 3, not a problem. All right, so let's get started on this. So the 5-day challenge, we're on day 3, but I want to talk about backing up. I want to talk about why we want to establish a new habit for exercise. So most people know all the benefits of working out, right? You know that it helps you to live longer, it helps you to be stronger, helps you to look better and to feel more confident. And also, there are just so many reasons, right, that you already probably know. But there's my most important reason for me is that I am able to do spontaneous things without training for them as long as I'm keeping my exercise up. So for instance, some friends of mine recently asked if I wanted to go roller skating. This is a couple weeks ago. And of course I want to go roller skating. That used to be one of my favorite things. But here I am at 46 years old. If I weren't already having exercise as a regular part of my life, maybe I wouldn't have said yes to that. Maybe I would have been afraid of hurting myself. So when you're exercising regularly, that's one of the reasons that I think it's really beneficial, is that you can say yes to more things in your life and show up more fully for all the fun. But regardless, you guys probably know all the reasons. But if knowledge was enough to get you to make a change, nobody would be smoking, everybody would be exercising, everyone would be eating kale every single day. So knowledge is not enough, and this is probably why that habit has not been sticking for you, if that's the case for you. This is why it ends up on that New Year's resolution list every single year, and why you get frustrated with yourself every single year. So it's not your fault, it's just that you might not have the strategies yet, but if you stick around, you're going to get those from me today. And of course, in my groups and in my programs, we go much, much deeper. But I just really want to be here every Wednesday for you guys to give you some tips so that you can actually apply this to your life. All right, so let's get to it. Are you guys ready? I want you to tell me who's here, because I'm still not so good at figuring out who's watching. So if you have any comments or anything, just say hello to me so I know who's watching. But okay, so let's go ahead, get your pen and paper out, and I want to go ahead and get started. So the first step to a lasting change for your new exercise habit is to first do the inner work. And what I mean by this is, one of my clients who I love so much, maybe she's watching right now, she said the reason why she wanted to hire me was because she's got the working out part down, but she doesn't have the working in part down. And the working in is what I call that inner, deeper work. And the reason why it's important when it comes to exercise is because it's otherwise just a Band-Aid. If you don't do the inner work to find out, why do you really want this result? What would change in my life if I were to actually continue exercising regularly in my life? What would actually change? How would I show up differently? What would be different in my life? What would I wear? What would I not wear? What would I do? What would I say yes to? How would it affect my life, the people around me? Would it positively impact my job? Would it allow me to get a different kind of job? What things would actually happen if I were to get this goal and make it a lasting change? So that's where we call it the big why. So when you do that work, by the way, it's free in my course. If you go in there to sherrystarwellness.com, you can sign up for the free Move Your Body Challenge. It's a 5-day challenge, and you're going to get my processes that you can go through to discover your deeper why. Okay, so that's the first step, is to do that inner work. So one part of the inner work is to find out why. Why do you want it? You have to have a really compelling reason why you want something, or else you're not going to continue to do it. So do you know your big why? If you don't, then you have to start asking those questions and write them down. What would be different in my life? Right. The other part of the deeper inner work is to give yourself a chance to empower your mindset. And you can do this by doing another process that I have. But what it's really about is being aware, heightening your awareness to the language that you use, the thoughts that you think, and the beliefs you have regarding what's possible for you, what's possible regarding exercise or anything else in your life for that matter. And you might think that you have a very strong mindset, but if you heighten your awareness and you maybe take some time to journal down some things, what are some things that you'd say when it comes to your body or when it comes to your ability to work out? Do you say things like, I'm not a morning person? Okay, so that's a very simple thing that you might believe about yourself, but if that's true that you believe that, guess what? It's going to be really hard to fit in the exercise in the morning, and you're going to struggle against yourself. So that could be a belief you could work on. Maybe you say things like, I'm not an athlete, or I've never been an athlete, so why would I be able to do that now? Those are thoughts that you can just start paying attention to, heighten the awareness. Do you say things like, I can't, or it's too hard, or I don't have time? Those kinds of things, whenever you hear those kinds of things, or even shoulds, like I should work out, those are tips that you can be aware of, that it's time to look under the hood and find out what's going on inside. Because otherwise, that's, the little Band-Aid that we put on is not going to stay forever. It's not going to cure the issue. You want to have a lasting change, and that's how you do it. So the first step, you can write that down, is do the inner, deeper work. All right, so the next step, you guys ready to move on? We're going to get to number 2. Step number 2 is to choose fun things to do to move your body. All right, so this seems like a no-brainer. A lot of these seem like no-brainers, but I want you to think about this. A lot of times we think exercise has to be at the gym. It absolutely does not have to be at the gym. And you don't need to go to the gym. You don't even have to pay for a membership to have fun exercising. And the reason why I'm emphasizing the fun factor is because if you're not having fun, you're probably not going to continue to do it. It's just the way it is. We have so many things on our list right now, so many things that are important in our lives. So you have to make it something that you look forward to. Otherwise, it probably won't stick. So for me, my workouts have changed so much over the years. And right now, what's really making me so excited is my trampoline. You guys have heard me talk about my rebounder, but that's what I love. So for instance, this morning I got up, I turned on my playlist, and I jumped up and down on my trampoline for about 15 minutes, and then I got off of the trampoline and did some yoga poses, and did some squats, and some lunges, and some push-ups, and things like that, with the music blasting in my house. This feels like a party to me. The rebounder, if you guys don't already have one, they're small. In fact, it's right behind me in my office right now. It fits at the end of my treadmill desk, which I'm standing on. I'll talk about that in a second. But they're not that expensive. You can get them on Amazon, and I'm telling you guys, it is a quick mood booster. I love it for when I'm just working on my computer and I feel getting like that heavy feeling, the foggy brain feeling if I've been focusing for too long and I need a distraction or I feel like I'm tired, I jump on my trampoline. But not only does it help me to elevate my mood, but it definitely gives me a workout. And I add in all kinds of leg lifts, and I'm pretty crazy up in my office with my trampoline. But anyway, that's what I love to do. I also love yoga. You guys probably have heard me talk about this too. But if you go try different classes, try different instructors, find somebody that really fires you up. If you've already tried yoga before and didn't love it, maybe it's just because you haven't found the right instructor or the right place. You know, every little studio has its own energy, and I have found one in Oceanside that I love so much called Black Sheep Yoga Studio. There's also Vinyasa Arts. That's a new one I've been going to sometimes too, and that one is another magical place. So you guys check out different ways, but maybe you like to dance. Maybe you like to roller skate or rollerblade. Maybe you like hula hooping. I saw this on the somebody posted this the other day that they were hula hooping for their exercise. So whatever floats your boat, you know, do that. So they say the best exercise to do is the one that you will do. And I want to let that sink in. The best exercise to do is the one that you will do. So make sure that you find something that you love. If you hate it, you're probably not going to do it. So I like to take this on as a challenge too, a little challenge in itself. Go experiment. Go take a Zumba class and then go take some other kind of class. You could join a gym, maybe there's a temporary 2-week thing where you could try out all the classes. Try some yoga, try Pilates, go surfing. Like, what could you possibly do that you haven't tried before? Play tennis, do something new. Anyway, that's my tip number 2, is to choose something fun. Make it fun, and there's a better chance that you're going to stick with it. All right, so number 3, we're moving on. The number 3 tip for today is to get it on the calendar. Now, this is another one that sounds kind of obvious, but here's the deal, you guys. If it's not on the calendar, chances are you will forget. And I know that sounds a little crazy to forget something that you feel is so important, right? But what happens when it comes to making new habits stick is that we make a decision to start a new habit, usually because of a pain point, right? So we're feeling frustrated because we don't fit into our clothes, or it's almost summer and we're paranoid about the bathing suit or whatever. That's a scary pain point, and that gets us motivated. But the pain diminishes, and so at some point you're going to need more than the fear of a bathing suit to get you out of bed every single day. And so you need to schedule it. It needs to be a priority, and you need to keep it at the forefront of your mind every week. And so I would recommend getting your calendar out. In fact, if you have it nearby, get it out right now so that as soon as this talk is over, you can schedule in your days that you're going to work out and make it specific. Make it specific. Talk about what you're going to do, where you're going to go, what time you will do it. Okay, and then, you know, speaking of getting it on your calendar, also tracking your progress is another tip that I want to, you know, encourage you to do. Tracking your progress helps you to see how far you've come and celebrate your efforts along the way. So having it on this calendar and marking it off, it gives you that feeling like, wow, I'm really doing something to better my health and to better my mood and to make me live longer. And, you know, all the people who love you will be so grateful for that. So that's something to think about. All right, ready for number 4. So if you're just joining us, we've got a couple steps ahead, but you can watch the replay, and you could also join our free challenge if you want to at sherrystarwellness.com. All right, so the next, number 4, is to commit to short-term goals. So oftentimes we make these big goals and we say, oh, I want to be in this kind of shape. I want to get back to the way I was in high school or whatever. But that's just such a big goal, right? And maybe not even attainable because we're not the person we were in high school. How about we focus on something that we can do in short term, that we can actually mark off as a win right now? And this is why I really love my 5-day challenges, because if you can focus for 5 days on something, or 30 days, or whatever kind of challenge, you know, a lot of times my yoga studio that I go to, Black Sheep Yoga, they have 30-day challenges, and to see how many times you can get your yoga in 30 days. I like to do 5-day challenges because most people can commit easily to 5 days, and it's something that it's a short enough term goal to feel successful also. And challenges usually have a group environment aspect, which I think is super important. We're going to talk about that in a minute. But really those challenges, the 5 days, if you can commit to short-term goals, and so you can do that also by signing up for a race. You know, there was a time where I ran a marathon. I'll never do that again. That was hard for me. I made a goal, I did it, and I'm stoked that I did it, but marathons are not my jam. I found that out. So anyway, I would suggest to go ahead and sign up for something. It could be a shorter term race like a 5K. It could be just some event like a mud run or something like that, or a challenge at your gym or at the studio, something like that. Or you can sign up for my 5-day challenges that I do on my private group, Sherry Star Wellness Warriors. You can always do that. All right, so that's another tip. So committing to those short-term goals, that way you can more easily achieve those successes without feeling like the goal is so far, far away. Vacations are another one too that I like to use as short-term goals. You know, if you're going on a vacation and you're thinking about the clothes that you want to buy, the pictures that you want to take, that's always a good motivator too. All right, so moving on to number 5. The number 5 tip for getting your habit solidified for your exercise on a regular basis is to keep it fresh and mix it up often, right? So we don't want to get bored, and also we hit plateaus when we keep it the same all the time. So if you're currently working out regularly or exercising regularly, it might be time to just take it up a notch. Maybe increase the intensity, increase the duration, or change the location, or hire a trainer. Do something different. It not only will stimulate your muscles in a different way, but it also will get you to stop being bored with the thought of doing the same thing all the time, right? Some people like to have that kind of routine where you know exactly what you're getting into every day, but I think most people need a little bit of variety, so you don't have to do the same thing every day. Just have that block on your calendar where you're going to actually do something every day. Okay, so that's the key. So keeping it fresh, try different things, do different events, just get out there and try something new and start saying yes to those invitations of roller skating or trampoline aerobics or things that sound kind of crazy. I think that's kind of fun. Do something different and you're moving your body. All right, speaking of moving your body, we're moving on to number 7. And this tip was inspired by one of our women in the Wellness Warriors, the private Facebook group. You guys can Google that and find it if you're not already a member. It's for ladies only. But I don't want to say her name because she tells me that it embarrasses her when I do. But anyway, she knows who she is. And she looks for ways throughout the day to infuse body movement throughout the day. Because not everybody has the 30-minute chunk to be able to work out every single day. And so if that's the case for you, or even if you do have the time for that, but you just want more, because, remember, a body in motion stays in motion. I know you've heard that before, but isn't it true? Have you ever just sat on the couch for a whole day? Maybe you were sick, or maybe you just were kind of feeling blue for whatever reason. It was cloudy outside, you wanted to snuggle up. Once you do that for too long, it's really hard to get off the couch. Well, the same goes for the exercise. The more you move your body, let's get stuck in that habit instead of stuck in the habit of not moving your body, right? And it starts with just those little steps. So I've got lots of tips for you guys on the day 3 email that came for the free challenge. And so I'll just name some of them right now. But there are lots of ways that you can look for opportunities for moving your body more. One of them you've probably heard, which is to take the stairs. Now, I don't know if you work in a building where you have to take the stairs or you can choose an elevator. Just for a while, start taking the stairs and see what happens, even if it takes you a little bit longer to get up the stairs. Also, parking farther away from the entrances of the buildings that you're going to, whether it's the store or even the post office or work, whatever. Park a little bit farther. Another thing would be to take public transportation if that's something that you can do. And even though you're on a bus or a train or whatever, you're still having to walk to the location. You're having maybe to stand up and hold and use your body, balance, things like that. When I was in New York last week, we took the subway everywhere. And you're really using your body and your core just to stand on a subway. So you're moving more when you're doing that. And also, one of the things that I like to do is when I'm brushing my teeth, I'll do calf raises or leg lifts. Same thing with when I'm doing dishes and cooking. Sometimes I'll be doing my leg lifts or my calf raises just to add in that extra bit. And, another thing I do is while the shower is getting warm, it takes, about a minute or so for my shower to heat up, I'll just drop and do 15 push-ups, something like that. Just ways to get more into your day. And then, of course, my favorite one is to do a dance break. I gave my aunt a little sign that she hangs up in her house that says dance break. And the rule is that when people are at her house, she gets to choose when it's time for a dance break. And I mean, I think that's a fun way, especially if you have kids. How fun is that if you've got kids and they are participating in a dance break with mom? I think that'd be pretty cool. Another thing is to get a treadmill desk like what I'm on right now. I'm not walking on it right now, I'm just standing. Or get a stand-up desk. If you're working at an office, chances are they will provide that for you if you ask for it. So you could get one of those that goes up or down, but even just standing versus sitting throughout the day will help so much. And you could do leg lifts, I do kicks behind me as well while I'm standing here working. So that's another way to do that, because they've been saying lately that sitting is the new smoking when it comes to the effects on your health. And that kind of scared me, which is why I purchased the treadmill desk. I got it off Craigslist, by the way. They're normally really expensive, like $1,500, but this one I found for $300 on Craigslist, and I drove 3 hours to get it, but it was definitely a game changer and worth it for me. Another idea for looking through for more ways to find places to add in exercise throughout the day is if you're already walking your dog or whatever, just maybe add in some calisthenics, like add in some squats or add in some push-ups or things like that, or lunges. One of my friends does this too with her dog walking up a hill. She'll add in lunges while she's walking. It's pretty awesome. So there's always ways to do that. And then also, drinking more water throughout the day will make it so that you have to go to the bathroom more often, which means you're going to get up more. So you don't even need to set an alarm for that. But if you want to set an alarm, you can do that for a dance break or for just walking around, taking a quick walk around the block, something like that. But just look for opportunities for that. So if you can. I see that more people are joining us. Hello, hello. Okay, so that is number 7. Oh, I forgot to say, using your fitness tracker, that's another way to look for ways to add more movement throughout the day. And that's because you're going to be able to see how many steps you've taken, and you can have that as your goal for the day. I used to have one, but it broke. I need to get another one. So that's another tip. All right, are you ready to go on for number 8? We are going to get to it. So number 8, the step for creating the lasting habit for regular exercise, is to use the buddy system. Okay, so I know I've talked about the buddy system before, but this is so important because I know that there are women at my yoga studio that I go to that are going to be expecting me at the classes that I say I'm going to be at. And so it's much more likely that I'm going to do that if I commit to that with them. So having a group of friends that also will be involved in exercise is a really great thing to do. And also joining our group on Facebook is another great thing to do. Then you can see what everybody else is doing and be inspired by each other. And also hiring a coach is a great way to have a buddy system. So I have one-on-one programs. I also have group programs, and one in particular that's coming up very soon, July 6th, is called Eat, Play, Thrive Sessions. And it is the best. It's kind of like a life, health, and happiness coaching summer camp for women. That's what it kind of is, right? So it's virtual, it's online, but we start off, the whole first month is all about a healthy body. So we start off right off the bat with 5 days of 5-day detox, and throughout the time we're adding in playfulness and fun and exercise, and then of course doing that deeper work that I talked about earlier in step number 1. We go for 3 months into the deeper work. And that's where the shifts really happen. You know, all the rest is really just Band-Aids because, like I said, we have enough knowledge. It has to go deeper than knowledge, or else we're really never going to make those shifts. So that's a great way to have a buddy system, is through one of the programs that I provide. And then the last tip that I have for you guys, and I probably have so many more, but this is the last one I'm going to do for you today because I know you're busy people. You have to get back to work. But I would say listen to your body. So you have to know when it's time to take a break, when it's time to amp up that intensity. You know, I'm not one that really likes to push myself, but there are times when I can feel that I want to go harder today. Like I actually can feel, like in yoga sometimes they'll say, okay, you know, child's pose is always there for you. There are some times inside where my body is saying, I don't want child's pose. I want to go for it. I want to do another round of that, you know. And so listening to your body and really utilizing the wisdom that you have inside. That's another tip for making it last. So when you feel like you need a break, you know, of course daily exercise is best because then you get into the habit. we really do tend to have habits that last if they're done every day. Just think about your brushing your teeth. You know, you don't take a break brushing your teeth on the weekends just because it's the weekend, or at night, you know, because you're tired. You know, chances are you're brushing your teeth every day, maybe twice or 3 times a day, and that is your habit. So with exercise, you don't have to go all out every day, but move your body every day. Maybe take a walk every day. There's nothing wrong with taking a walk every day, and it's something that you can get into a habit of doing. The only thing I would caution you against is maybe mixing up your muscle groups and things like that. Of course, you don't want to work the same muscle groups every single day. But as far as moving your body, you can do that every day, and that will get you into a habit where it just becomes what you do and who you are, and it's not anymore a decision you have to make, just like you don't have to make a decision about brushing your teeth. So it's the same like that. All right, so those are your steps, everybody. I can reiterate them now just for those of you who just got here. So number 1, the step to get this lasting habit for exercising regularly is to do the inner work, right? We talked about it's important to work out, but it's important to work in. And so the inner work is the most important in my opinion, which is why it's always my first step in everything that we do. And so if you haven't done the inner work, you can sign up for the free challenge and you'll see some of my processes. They're kind of like my baby processes from my bigger group, the one that I talked about, the July 6th one. That's called Eat, Play, Thrive Sessions. But I did give you guys some of those processes so you can start applying them to your life. You can start looking at, why do I want this? What would be different, right? And then you can also look at the mindset. What are some thoughts and beliefs that might be stopping me from getting this goal met? Those are really important steps. All right, step number 2 is to choose fun ways to bring movement into your life daily. Make it fun, and chances are you're going to keep it up. All right? And then number 3 is to get it on the calendar. Make it a must. Make it important. The things that are on your calendar are probably going to happen. And even better if you can commit to a friend. So you've got it on the calendar and you've got a friend or a trainer or a coach that's waiting for you also. It's really good step for that if you can make that happen. All right, number 4 is to commit to a short-term goal or multiple short-term goals, whether it's an event coming up that you think, okay, I can focus until this vacation I'm taking, I can really, focus on that goal and make it happen. Also, my 5-day challenges are a great thing to do, very short-term, something that's easy to commit to, and then you can feel the success and you can see a difference in 5 days. You really will feel different. You might not notice, going down a dress size or anything like that, but I'm talking about feeling different in your body, feeling that things are possible now, feeling that your mood is elevated. Commit to a small challenge like that, or a bigger challenge like a marathon or a 30-day challenge or something like that. All right, now step number 5 is to mix it up, keep it fresh. Don't forget to mix it up. You don't want to hit the plateaus. You don't want to get bored. And you're going to discover so many more ways to move your body if you open up to new ideas. What about a hula hoop class? What about a belly dancing class? Try something new. Keep it fresh. All right, number 6 is to set yourself up ahead of time. Oh, I skipped this one. Shoot. I just noticed that. All right, so we're going to backtrack. Number 6, set yourself up ahead of time. And what I mean by this is to put those shoes and your clothes by the bed. If you tend to be a person to hit that snooze button and not want to get out of the bed, get your clothes ready, get everything right there, and the first thing you do is go to the bathroom and put on those clothes and get out of the house. That's one way to set yourself up. Or put the clothes in your car and have a bag in there that is ready to go so that you don't have that one excuse that, oh, I have to go home first to get my workout clothes. So if they're already in your car, this is what I did when I was training for the marathon. Nothing stood in my way. I committed to this and I trained for 6 months. It was raining. It was January. It was awful. I don't want to discourage you from marathons, but it just wasn't for me. But when I commit to something, I do it. I mean, that's just the way I am. So I ran in the rain. I brought my clothes in. I was changing in gas station bathrooms. Whatever I had to do, I made those trainings happen. So if you have your clothes ready, it just takes away that one extra excuse that you might come up with when you're not really wanting to do it. So that's a way to set yourself up. All right. Step number 7 is to look for ways to move your body throughout the day. This is what I was inspired by one of our members in the private group, Sherry Star Wellness Warriors, when she posted on there about all the things she did throughout the day that added in more exercise, right? So we don't even have to think about it as exercise. It's just body movement, right? So you're waiting in line somewhere. You could squeeze your body, do isometrics, while you're driving. You could do Kegels. You can do so many things, like I mentioned before, in the shower, before bed. Lots of different ways to add in more movement. And the number 8 is to use that buddy system. Such an important piece. This probably should be number 2. I really feel that this is essential. If you don't have a buddy system, I have one for you built in Sherry Star Wellness Warriors. It's a Facebook group and it's private. But even better is one of my programs. My Eat, Play, Thrive Sessions program is so essential. It's making people get to the point where they commit for 3 months so that they actually do get a chance to shift. Because if you're just kind of half-assing it in the free groups, nothing really is going to totally shift, but you might get some new insights and things like that, and that's awesome, and that's why I'm here every week to provide you guys these tools. But it's when you commit to a 3-month goal together with other women who are also committing to the same goal, that's when the shift happens. So I really encourage you to go check that out at my website, sherrystarwellness.com. And then the last one is to listen to your body. Of course, this is always so important. You are the expert on you. Remember, so nobody is more qualified to know what's best for you than you. So if you're hiring a trainer and that trainer is telling you to do 5 more squats and you know that's not what your body needs, you know that. So you need to make sure that you are in charge of what your body is doing. If you know that you could do it, then maybe let yourself just go higher in the intensity too. Listen to your body and then take those breaks when you know you need it. All right, so we will be here next week again. Oh, but I just want to ask you guys this one question. Please go ahead and type this in either here or on the Facebook group. What is the one thing that you're going to commit to this week when it comes to moving your body more? Are you going to commit to adding in more exercise throughout the day? Are you going to commit to maybe focusing on being aware of your thoughts and your beliefs, maybe catching those things that might be hindering you from making a lasting change? Or maybe you're going to commit to a buddy system. Or maybe you're going to commit to the Eat, Play, Thrive Sessions course for 3 months. But I'd love for you guys to talk about what it is that you're going to commit to. And step up for yourself, you guys, this week. You can do this just adding in little by little. All right? So we'll be here next week, same time, same place, at noon. I might be changing it in the future, the time. And I think I'm going to take a poll, find out what's best for you guys in my private group. So go over there and check that out. I just want to try to be there for the time that's best for you. So you guys have a wonderful day. Get that body moving, and I'll see you next Wednesday. Bye.